live from the J.C. Newman Cigar Studio in Boston, Massachusetts. Welcome to the Smokin Tabacco Show with your hosts, Matt Tobacco and Smokin Nicole.
And ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to another episode of the Smokin Tabacco Show. My name is Matt Tobacco from SmokinTobacco.com. I'm joined with my lovely wife, Smokin Nicole, as well as my best friend, Mr. Jonathan M. Carney of La Flor Dominicana. And tonight, we want to welcome on our guest. It was, as you probably saw from our promo, it was supposed to be Ben from Luxury Cigar Club. But the boys at Luxury Cigar Club decided to shake it up a little bit, and now Chris Doyle will join us instead. Chris, welcome to the show.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. This actually kind of worked out because Ben's already been on the show. So, I mean, to have, and he was on not too long ago, so to already have him on again, like, we love Ben, but this actually worked out because now we get to see the other part of it.
We like some fresh meat.
Yeah, we went, well, that's one way to put it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa now.
Whoa.
No,
Someone
I
got
just
excited.
no, I'm just saying, like a new face. I don't know. I get excited when we get someone new.
And of course, Daddy is here. John Carney is always here. He's sporting his Ferrari sunglasses. Just for those of you who probably wouldn't know that, he made a big deal when we first connected that, oh my God, check out, I'm wearing Ferrari sunglasses. But, you know, as Chris and I wanted to point out, you know, he doesn't actually own a Ferrari. So, I mean, that's just kind of, you know.
And I'd
Not
love
yet.
to hear thoughts
Ferrari.
from people.
Well, I have a Ferrari Matchbox car.
I mean, I guess
It's
that's
a Ferrari
close enough.
Enzo,
Yeah.
and it's in
That
a
count?
storage unit. Yeah, it's in a storage unit here in Orlando, which has been in storage for 12 years. From the moment I got hired by LFD, I lived in Orlando and then moved away. So I do have a Ferrari, but the reason I'm saying is I'm going to get that. I'm taking that storage unit next on Sunday. I'm going in the storage unit for the first time in 12 years. Because I built a shed in my backyard, and we're going to slowly sell things out of it and move things to the shed. So the Ferrari sunglasses will be very appropriate when I get my Matchbox Enzo Ferrari.
We have we have some new toys to play with here tonight. I'm running a little bit behind today. It's been a long day. It's been a busy day. So I'm just trying to get myself caught up.
Humid.
It's very humid,
Yes.
yeah. It's very Florida humid here. Yesterday was really nice. It was warm, but it wasn't too humid. I actually sat outside on the front step. It was really nice. I had enjoyed a great cigar. I talked to Carney on the phone, as we frequently do. We have a nightcap together over the phone. And, you know, just talked about all the things that two grown men would talk about. But I won't share that here because that's private. That stays between me and John.
It wasn't that serious. It wasn't that serious or that risky or anything. Chris is like, I'm uncomfortable, Ben. We're going to need you back on this show.
I'm quite comfortable, actually.
Yeah,
It's what grown men talk about together.
you know, the boys at Luxury Cigar Club have to deal with Boofy a lot. So I'm pretty sure that this is as mild as it probably gets for them. So I'm sure that you'll be okay. So anyway, Chris, since you're our guest, what are you smoking tonight?
I'm smoking actually something that has a cool story. I'm technically not allowed to smoke it, but it is a pre-release Johnny Tobacco that AJ Fernandez rolled in the incorrect size. Ben and I were in
Wow.
Nicaragua, and Matt called us while we were there. And he's like, "Hey, can you go by AJ and pick up the Johnny Tobacco samples?" And we're like, "Absolutely." And I had really bad food poisoning, so I was stuck in the hotel room, and Ben brings back all these cigars, and I'm like, "What the hell is this?" And he's like, "That's Johnny Tobacco." I'm like, "This is the wrong size, man. This is not the right size." So we have some swirled away, and I looked at it, and I'm like, "I'm gonna smoke that," and it's delicious. It's just never gonna see the light of day.
Well, that's what we like to call a tease here. Or as William Cooper would say, no teasers, please. You know, because he doesn't like teasers. But that's okay. I enjoy a good teaser.
You guys invited me.
I know. I enjoy teasers. I'm all for it. I think that's great.
It's not going to get any better when you get to my screen.
Of course. How could we
We're a
forget?
bunch of jerks tonight, Chris. Yeah.
I know. So, John, why don't you grace us with what you're smoking on the show?
So I'm smoking the Andalusian Bull NFT. when I'm
Oh, of course.
Illusion
Another
Bolt NFT.
tease.
Being vice
Yeah.
president of sales has its
Yeah.
perks, doesn't it?
Well, I was just thinking about that. I was like, so on August 11th, this is going to get super rare because of the people that get the first NFT. From that point forward, we must really protect this brand. But then I was thinking about it, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I might be able to smoke these things somewhat regularly because I'm an officer of the company, and it's like representing and helping build the excitement behind it and the lore behind it, that it's something exclusive. So I don't know where it's going to fall, but until the 11th, I'm going to enjoy some a little bit. And this is the packaging that it's going to come in, the monthly cigars. It's a beautiful box. Looks really nice, shiny. So I'm gonna smoke one now, but I am gonna set one or two aside for myself just in case.
It's okay. You'll be able to buy them from
smoke
like the Cigar Club, hopefully.
Hey, I hope so, dude. I'm hoping that retailers see there's only 7 of these things for the whole world. I'm hoping that retailers have seen the benefit of it, and I won't get too into it just in case there's a bunch of retailers here and you don't want to compete against them in bidding, Chris.
Yeah, don't tell
But
any. Actually, stop telling people about it.
Yeah. So I'm going to light this cigar up. I'm going to put it aside, and we won't speak about it again.
Well,
I smoked that cigar when I was in the DR last year. It's delicious.
Yeah, it's a really. I like the Andalusian Bull blend personally as a cigar smoker. I really like Corojo. Yeah, and I like medium bodied. And one thing I like about medium bodied blends, if I smoke them in a larger size, is the medium bodied blend in a smaller size. Because it's not aggressive. It's all the flavors that I like. It's a great size. It's a great size. I enjoy it myself as well. It's like I always liked the 25th anniversary was a blend that was similar to the Andalusian Bull as well, and it was just a more standard size, 54 ring gauge. I personally preferred that one myself over the Andalusian Bull.
so Nicole, do you want to?
No.
No, oh, you want me
You
to do
can,
it? Okay.
yeah.
So anyway, our cigars tonight are brought to you by our friends at twoguyscigars.com. I am smoking the Padron 1926 Maduro number 35, which you can find at twoguyscigars.com for the wonderful price of $13.60. And Nicole is smoking the Diamond Crown Maximus number 5, and that cigar can be found also at the number 2guyscigars.com for $12.99. Both fantastic cigars. But our cutting and lighting tonight is a little bit different. We have some new toys to play with. Our cutting and lighting is brought to you by Cigar Blondie Accessories. This wonderful set has a cutter and a lighter. I'm gonna unbox this right on the show. So everything's still in the plastic. These are brand new. We just got them in. The packaging, first of all, is smart packaging from Humidif Group. So if you have a smartphone with the near field communication technology, you put it near the box, it'll automatically bring up a link that'll bring you to the Cigar Blondie website. They'll show you all the information, where you can buy them. Excuse me. Sorry, that snuck up on me. I apologize. I just got caught in the rant there. But it'll bring you right to the website. You can find them, you can buy them, you can get all the information you need. Really cool stuff. This is some of the new technology you might have already seen. I think Placencia has implemented this on some of the bands. I know. Did Herclots start using this on the boxes?
I think so, right? Didn't he say he was doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a technology that we've slowly started to see started to begin to roll out within the industry in the last year and a half. So this is another product that has come out with that smart packaging technology that you'll see more of as time goes on.
And these were just debuted at PCA this year.
They were.
So they are brand new to the market.
This is the cutter. This is like the chrome set. It comes in multiple variations. I'm not sure how many. I know that there's like a chrome, there's a white, there's a black, there's a gray.
No, it's just the 3 right now, but I'm sure there will be more in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the cutter right here. I have to say, nice cutter. Very heavy duty. You know, when you have these guillotine cutters, sometimes, when you have them open, the blades can be kind of like floppy. Very rigid. Very heavy duty. Very nice. Doesn't feel cheap. Doesn't feel like one of those giveaway cutters. We'll see how it cuts in a moment.
Yep.
But I got the lighter here, real sleek, real
So it's-
thin.
Cigar Blondie, BLONDIE.com. I'm on the website right now. It looks awesome.
This is the cutter right here. This is the chrome one, so it's a little reflective.
And Ben chimed in. You can find them on luxurycigarclub.com.
Yes, you can. You can find them at Luxury Cigar. I'm gonna fill this up. So these are brand new. I'm gonna fill this up for the first time. Now the lighter, real slick, real slim, very reminiscent of some of the stuff we've seen from like St. DuPont, Ellie Blue, some very high-end accessories manufacturers that most people probably recognize or know from the industry. This has a blade flame, similar to like the Slim 7 or some of the lighters from Prometheus. So just crack that open like that. So it's just a flat flame. It's a jet flame, but it's a flat flame in case you've never seen that before. Bring that a little closer. Which is really cool. I think it's definitely cranked up right now because it's brand new. So let me just turn that down a little bit. And then we're going to cut and light our cigars with this.
Boom.
Boom. Look at that.
But I feel like we should get into Chris.
We should. I'm sorry. There was a
We
lot.
gotta, like,
There was a
dig
lot.
into him.
There was a lot to unpack on this show tonight. Believe me, it's been one of those weeks. So Chris, like I said, Ben's been on the show before.
And didn't Ben have that beautiful display of whiskey behind him too?
I don't think he had that one, but he
Well,
also he had one of
similar-
his own. Yeah.
Yeah.
This
One
se-
of his own.
It seems to be a theme with the guys from Luxury Cigar Club. They always show up with some good whiskey, which is nice.
That's at his house, though. I'm at the office. He's got like a personal stash at home. That's
Does he share the personal stash with you though, or is
Of
it like
course, of
okay?
course.
That's good. That's good. So Chris, tell us a little bit about what you guys have going on. I know that Ben wanted to talk about some new projects. I know you have your community cigar project that you guys are doing that you're kind of working with the public on. Why don't we start with that? Tell us a little bit about that and tell us kind of where that idea came from.
I mean, so like from the beginning, since the inception of Luxury Cigar Club, community has been a really big piece of what we try to incorporate into the brand, into the products, and into the atmosphere. And it's because cigars are community driven things, right? Like, you don't go to the lounge usually and sit all by yourself. You call your buddies or text your buddies and you meet there and you're like, oh, let's have a cigar, or you make friends there, right? It's all about community. And so we've seen a lot of cigars come out, especially in the past couple of years with the cigar boom that's been happening. Master blenders, new blenders, all kinds of stuff. And we wanted to release a project that was community driven in more than a way of like, hey, let's, smoke this cigar together. But so the project's called Create. We're not very creative people over here, so we just called the project Create.
That's fair.
And it's a community blend project, right? And the way it works is if you sign up for the project, it's $117 in the US. And what that gets you is a spot in the blending process. So once we're done taking signups, we'll have 5 samples that are already done at the factory, shipped to you. And we will smoke through them together along with the factory owner. And we'll take survey feedback and start blending off of one of those base blends, just like any brand that would try to create a project that a factory would do. And this entry fee covers all of that. It covers all the shipping, all the reblends, everything that comes back and forth. And the goal is at the end of it to have the community decide what the cigar should taste like, what the cigar should look like, and then B, decide, I mean, everything about it really. So at the end, we'll have a cigar that is blended by all the people that sign up to this. The only place we're going to use a master blender is to make sure that combustion works, right? So we're not going to say, hey, what tobacco do you want to use? But we're going to go after flavors. So you want it to be sweet, you want it to be spicy, and we're going to take the majority feedback and create a cigar out of it. And everyone that helped blend the cigar, their name will go on the boxes of the cigars, so it's something that if you're part of it, you can kind of say like, hey, I helped blend this cigar. And it's exciting and it's super affordable also. I think it ends up being like $6 a cigar.
Wow.
To blend your own, will help blend your own, I should say.
see a lot of new things come out on the market. We see a lot of companies try to do new things, especially the manufacturers like themselves, retailers and some of the guys like you try to do something different, which is always nice. I mean, people get sick of the same old shit, right? So it's always nice to try to find some kind of innovation. This is really cool. I really like this, and it really, to me, it's nice because like you guys obviously have your monthly membership, your subscription. They get the cigars in the mail, and a lot of people do that kind of service, right? But you guys have kind of taken it to another level, where it's like, okay, so now you actually have the opportunity to be like really more involved with something that we're going to make available. And for some people, they're really into that. They really enjoy that. They want to learn more. They see it as an opportunity not just to be involved, but to learn something, to be engaged in something like that, and to just be more involved with the industry. I mean, there's a lot of consumers out there that don't get to do or see a lot of the stuff that we get to see, or you get to see, or even John gets to be around the Gomez family all the time. I mean, those are things that are cool, and it's awesome, and a lot of consumers don't get that opportunity. So even just to have something like this, I think is really cool for the public to be able to experience.
A lot of brands blend their cigars this way, right? Like, for every brand that goes to the factory, whether they own a factory like LFD does or they use someone else's factory, like Room 101 or Warped, Kyle Gellis, or Stolen Throne. There's a lot of boutique brands that they use someone else's factory. This is how they do it. They might visit the factory once or twice, but a lot of brands blend just like this, right? They say, hey, we want this. The factory gets to work, sends out samples, and sends it back. And we're working with Tabacalera La Isla in the Dominican Republic, an amazing newer factory, doing some cutting edge things there with the way that they track their tobacco and how it's rolled and where it comes from and things like that. And he's doing cigars for Matilde. He's doing cigars for Warped. He's doing cigars for Cabal Cigars. He's doing cigars for a lot of people now. Amazing factory. Actually good friends with the Gomez family as well. Hostess, the gentleman that owns it, was at Quesada for a long time and also Cigar Rings. So he really knows his stuff.
Oh, that's really awesome. I know that you mentioned before, sorry, I'm a little off track today. I had like a whole list of things I wanted to get into, and then at the last minute, some things changed. Sorry. And when did you say this was going to begin? And then when is the cigar going to be available?
So we're already taking signups, right? So to reserve your spot, you got to go purchase the Create project on our website. And once we have 200 spots available. If we sell out of those quickly, we will close it. If we don't sell out of them very quickly, we'll still probably close it sometime in the middle of next month. The first 5 samples are already done. So the first shipment you get will be 5 cigars. And the idea is to say, which one of these do we want to use as our base blend, right? Which one do we like the most to use as our base blend? And then we'll tweak it from there until we get a cigar that everybody loves.
Yeah, there was another manufacturer that was doing something kind of similar. I'm trying to remember who it was, but I remember they have a cigar that they're working on, and they have, I think it's one blend, but it's in 4 different sizes, and they are sending those out to their consumers to smoke and whatever, and they're all going to vote on which one they like the most, and then whichever one gets the highest amount of votes, that's the size that they're going to make this new blend in. So I had seen that recently. Was it it was just on the tip of my tongue.
Well, General just did one with Punch.
No, it wasn't them. No.
I don't know how that program worked, but the way that the story was is that it was consumer selected.
Oh no, it was German engineered cigars. That's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, so they're doing one where they have 3 different sizes of a blend already, and it's basically whichever blend gets the most votes will be the one or whichever size gets the most votes will be put into production. This is a little bit of a more robust offering, right? Because there's no feedback from anyone but the community. So if they want it spicier, we're going to send it to the factory, make it spicier. They're going to blend that, send it back. And if they want it sweeter, we're going to add sweetness. So we're not starting with a blend that like, okay, hey, pick a size. Hey, let's blend a cigar. let's get it done. Let's
Right.
do it.
Right. Do you now, and John, feel free to chime in here. Now, do you feel like this is something, John mentioned your General's done it with Punch. Is this something that you think that is going to catch on and we'll see a lot more manufacturers do, or do you think that a lot of manufacturers look at this as just kind of being like too much for them to handle with the consumers?
Well, for me, it looks like this isn't manufacturer driven. This is retail and club driven. So I mean, essentially,
Or yeah, just or
if you're
them, yeah.
if you're putting in the work with communicating with it with a small group of 200 people, I don't think it should be unmanageable to do that. But yeah, it's an interesting concept. I think it's a cool. I think anything where people can engage, with other people and be part of something, they enjoy doing it. And streamlining a process and making it easy for communication and whatnot, it should be a pretty fun thing. I think, will it happen again? I don't know. We'll have to ask Chris. We'll have to ask Chris that. If it goes well, will you guys, will you do it again with a different blend?
Hey, if it works, we're gonna keep working it.
Yeah,
I think it's a great idea. I mean, everybody wants to be. Speaking of blending something, I just remembered I got to recommunicate. The person who won the blending cigar, the blend and LFD with me.
I was going to ask about that.
On the Smokin Tabacco thing. It's right on the top of my list. I got to reach out to you and get that taken care of because we just got back from Vegas. But no, I think that's a fun thing. I think it's great. People like to be involved in the process. And I think on a business level, it's a smart thing. It's going to be a great opportunity for you guys to build a rapport with a customer, build some loyalty with you, and then just a level of trust as they get to be part of something that's fun. So I think you'll probably see it again from people like Luxury Cigar Club. I don't think you'll see it in a large scale, like the way that General did it. I think they picked a couple different cigars, and that was the size people like. That's an easier way of doing it. I think the way you guys are doing a little bit more a roundabout way of getting there. But that's really how the process works. So I think it'll be fun for you guys and successful for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely unique and it's definitely a very cool concept. And I'm really excited to see how it pans out, as it continues to move forward. And then of course, if it's successful and you guys do well with it, it sounds like it's something that maybe you guys will, attempt to do again. Maybe make some changes, maybe do a little bit different, but kind of keep that idea kicking around.
Absolutely.
So Chris, tell us, aside from that, what other projects you guys have working on? I know you guys usually have some exclusive stuff that you got going on. You have some projects you do with like Room 101. I know you mentioned, Room 101 before. Anything new and exciting we can expect to see before the summer's over?
Yeah, actually today we just launched something that was supposed to launch at PCA. The cigar is called SNBN, shall not be named is what it stands for. And it had another name. In fact, it didn't launch at the show because of a cease and desist we received. It was packaged and at the airport, so it would be there for the show. And I had to call the factory and say, go back and get it, and I'll call you later and we'll figure out what to do with this. So literally, we got a cease and desist off of a Half Wheel article about it. That Half Wheel article still exists. It's made at Tabacalera Diaz Cabrera. I'm not allowed to say who the master blender is. Again, there's some legal issues around that for that person, but anyone that can Google Tabacalera Diaz Cabrera will find out pretty easily what it is. And yeah, man, it's a beautiful Ecuadorian Corojo cigar. $10.99 a stick, and they are in our warehouse now and resting, so they'll start shipping soon. Amazing cigar.
I'm looking at it right now on the website too. I like how you guys offer the 5-pack or the box of 20. I'm personally, go ahead, John.
So I just Googled Tabacalera Diaz Ferreira.
Oh, here we go. This is how we get in trouble. John likes to start trouble.
It popped up. Says your search did not match anything.
Oh, really?
Cabrera, not Ferreira.
Ferreira is what I put.
No, C.
No, Cabrera.
Like Miguel Cabrera.
Cabrera. Yeah, but I've never had Google not pull up something. Like, it literally came up and said the words I used matched nothing.
Someone
So,
in chat
man, I
found
don't even
out
know.
who's
I don't know what kind of legal trouble you were in, but you broke Google. I wouldn't name anything.
I mean,
we're not in any legal trouble at all. But the blender is in a contract still with his previous employer, and he's not allowed to blend anything right now.
Yeah.
So
I see who that is now. I had a feeling it was that person. But now that I know, and now I know who that former employer is. Oh yeah, that's it makes a lot of sense now. Yeah, that's a tough one. that's a tough contract to have to tangle with.
But isn't that? I know this is so. Chris can't talk about this, but isn't that person making another cigar for somebody right now?
So he is, but there's a licensing agreement in place between all parties involved for that cigar. We don't have the financial backing to do that. We wanted to bring a really cool, affordable cigar from that factory out, right? Because we all know who he is and we all know what he's capable of, but capable without his hands tied. He really is producing amazing stuff. And when we went there, we visited him a few times, and we're like, listen, we want to do something here. We want to put something out that you would love to smoke every day. Something that and he's like, oh, well, here. And he pulls out a Ziploc baggie from his shirt pocket. He's like, that's what it would be. And I'm like, okay, but are those for sale, right? You clearly already have those made and everything. He's like, absolutely, everything's for sale. And we smoked it and we're like, done, set us up. So again, they would have already been in country. They're actually going to be naked cigars in boxes. We didn't want to go through and build new bands and just add expense to the cigar. We wanted to keep the cigar under $11, and we were able to do that at $10.99, luckily. Just because I know money's tight, we know money is tight, and we wanted to, provide something that is a daily smoker, that you could just smoke every day with no problem.
Yeah, the concept sounds cool, man. And I've been on the website jumping back and forth as we've been talking to the different things and looking through some of the different projects. And I think the branding on it looks really cool, and I think the concept behind it's nice. And I like how you all explain the story there. So that's really interesting. I would like to jump more in just a brief second here. It's interesting. The other brand that's being made by the brand that I'm seeing online here, which is called Freud, is the new brand. It's interesting because one of the owners of Freud, or one of the principals of Freud, or whatever you would say, I don't know what his position is, used to work for Davidoff, and had a partnership with that person. So it'd be interesting. I would love to dive into legalities of certain things. And as Chris said, financially, it's probably really expensive to dive into it. So there you go, loose bands. And I'm looking forward to trying the cigar because it was the first thing that pops up on the website, and I thought it was really cool and it was really interesting. And normally when things are a little vague to me like that, I don't really get into it. But I looked and I was like, man, this is really interesting. And I've been looking at it for about 5 to 10 minutes, reading into it before you started talking. So when you start working on projects, where do these ideas come from? Are you approaching it with the idea first, or are you looking for the cigars first and then working from that direction?
Ben and I pride ourselves on being a relationship-driven company, relationship with the brands that we work with, and relationships with the people that we work for, which is our employees and our Luxury Cigar Club family. And so we develop an idea like, hey, let's do a project. And that's about as far as the development on our side goes. Then we go to the DR, we go to Nicaragua, we meet people, we hang out with people. And we find that projects are pretty easily developed when you're just all sitting around smoking a cigar, maybe drinking a little bit, eating some, playing dominoes, whatever it might be. And, Create came about because we've visited Tabacalera La Isla a few times, and we just really wanted to do something there. And we just didn't have anything in our custom project pipeline to give him anything to do there, right? There was nothing there. He's a newer factory. And I'm like, I'm like, dude, could we do this? You know what I mean? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. You know, and when something's kind of that easy to bring together, it's like, why not? Let's give it a shot. You know what I mean? And let's try to do something fun, exciting, unique. Is kind of where we're at. And you know, we had no intention of doing the Diaz Cabrera stick. But we visited a few times, and we're like, hey, could we maybe do a cigar here? And it was like, absolutely, let's do it. There was no like, hey, we want it to be Corojo, we want it to be broadleaf, we want this, we want this. It was none of that. It's like, yo, what do you like to smoke? And he's like, I smoke these all the time. And we're like, okay, let's do that. You know, and most of them come about that way.
I was just looking at, I was talking to Ben actually, while you guys were talking about that. I was remembering that you guys also had something else I wanted to bring up, and I had to ask him for the info, and now I have it. And now I'm getting, sorry, I had it right in front of me. I had the email in front of me, and now people were texting me, and it got all janked on me. Oh yeah, right here. So, Luxury Cigar Club. So something else you guys were doing that I thought was really cool, and this stuff's really awesome because it's been on the scene for a little bit now, and it's getting more popular, and it's really cool stuff. You guys are actually doing a giveaway for one of the Opus X Society humidors, the Hemingway humidor, which is really awesome. When does that end? Really quick.
So it's supposed to end at the end of July. We had some inventory issues surrounding our Arturo Fuente inventory, which is connected directly to this raffle. So I think we're going to extend it a bit just so that we make sure everyone who wants a chance to enter is able to. I think it's like a $1,300 humidor, but what's really exciting about it is it's signed by Carlito. So it's not just a humidor, but it's a humidor signed by Carlito Fuente. And, you know, we could keep it on our shelf, right, of all the stuff that just sits on our shelf and collect dust. But we feel like these things belong with the consumer in the community, you know, where some guy can be like, have it on his trophy shelf and be like, yo, I got that signed Fuente humidor. Last month, we gave away a La Polina standing humidor that they custom build. It's gorgeous. We have some signed Saka stuff that we're giving away soon. Just cool and exciting things to you know, give back a little bit. All you got to do to get a chance to win the humidor is buy Opus X Society or Fuente products from our website, and you'll get raffle tickets. There's a blog post on our website that kind of goes over exactly how you win that.
Yeah, I'm posting that blog post in the comments right now, just so that people can find that.
Awesome.
So it's right in there. Well, yeah, which is awesome. And
By
go
the
ahead.
way, I'm dying over here, guys.
I was gonna
It's
say you look like
97
you're sweating through that shirt.
Yeah, it's 97 degrees outside, and like 110% humidity here. I am drenched.
Yeah, good old Florida. I mean, that's what happens down there. It's July. We have a comment from Kay on YouTube. That bourbon collects dust. With 3 question marks.
Well, there's a shelf down here that is usually full of bourbon. I don't know if you probably can't see it. Yeah, you can see some bottle tops there.
Yeah, you go.
That's the working inventory. This is kind of we shoot YouTube videos and stuff here, but it's a really nice collection. There's some cool stuff there.
Some of my bourbon will collect dust over the summertime, just because we don't drink a lot of it in the hot, humid months. We prefer some lighter alcohol, but as soon as like that cool fall air comes in, the end of September, those bottles are getting popped, and we start going through the bourbon all the way through the fall and the winter, and then summertime we kind of go back to rum, and I was doing tequila a little bit, but I took a break from tequila to switch to rum this year, so rum's been really my poison for the summer. My summer 22 poison. We should have to do news, so I'm going to hit the news really quick, and then we are going to announce the winner of the Unicorn Sasquatch Poo giveaway from Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust.
Yeah.
Our news is brought to you once again by our friends at McAuliffe Cigars. If you head over to McAuliffe Cigars today, you can sign up to become an official ambassador, where you'll get your ambassador number, your ambassador coin, and while you're at it, head over to Facebook and join the McAuliffe Ambassadors Facebook group, where you can hang out and socialize and smoke with all of your fellow McAuliffe ambassadors. So this week, it's kind of been a weird news week. It's weird 2.5 because mostly everything in the news has been related to the trade show. It's been a lot of trade show coverage or announcements from the trade show, shit like that. So I tried to find something a little bit different. It's still trade show related, but it's not the PCA trade show. This one is the Intertabac trade show that takes place in Dortmund, Germany in September. And this week, Davidoff and Scandinavian Tobacco Group have announced that they will not exhibit at Intertabac 2022. We have not been to the Intertabac trade show. We have talked about going maybe in the future. It's very different from the PCA show and TPE, here in the United States. I don't know. Have either of you been to the Intertabac trade show?
No,
No,
sir.
the Gomez's handle the international stuff because they like to travel internationally. I have no objection to doing it, but I probably will in the future. It's just right now it's handled mostly through Lito and his wife. And the main reason is the way it works over there. Here domestically, we're the distributor of the product. So I essentially run the distribution company with Inez. So I work for her. At the end of the day, I'm the vice president of premium imports. And then over in the Dominican, you're working. Over in Europe, Intertabac and international outside of the U.S., most of these companies are working with their own, with other distribution networks. So you're working directly with the distributor, and you're literally talking, how much am I going to pay for these cigars from the factory and this and that. So a lot of that's handled from the factory. So that's why it's handled at that level, as I don't really have my hands in that stuff. But I mean, as time goes on and the company evolves, I will naturally be over there.
So does somebody else manage your distribution in Europe for La Flor Dominicana?
Yeah, we have we have different distributors. We have distributors in Mexico. We have a distributor in the Dominican Republic that we use because we don't distribute down there. We're only in the manufacturing side of it in the Zona Franca that we're in, which is tax-free zone. And then we have European distributor. We have distributors for each country is different. So we have some for Western Europe, some for Eastern Europe. We do distribution in Africa. So it really depends on what areas they cover. But yeah, we have several different distributors that handle Europe and then any other international business that we do. Including Canada.
In Canada. It's interesting to see. These are two companies that, as most people know by this point, they have also stopped exhibiting at PCA trade show. They all still attend TPE, I believe. Yeah, they all go to TPE, but they have stopped exhibiting at the PCA show, the Big Four. But now two of the Big Four have now stopped exhibiting at the Dortmund trade show in September. So that continues to be the theme for those guys, pulling out of the trade shows and meetings and conventions and what have you, and kind of, I think, being a little bit more self-reliant these days, which we can get into deeper probably this weekend on the Spare Note series. But that is our news headline for this week. Another cool thing.
Yeah, it just seems both these companies, especially Scandinavian, has a large sales force.
Yeah.
So it just seems like they don't have a large interest in having a massive presence at these trade shows because they already have such a huge presence with a retail base and then their distribution bases. And kind of the same thing with Davidoff. Internationally, they're huge. They're their own distributor,
right?
Over in Europe for the most part. And then over here, they have a large sales force. But I'd be surprised here in the U.S. if Davidoff didn't get somewhat involved in some of these trade shows a little bit. But in regards to general, in my opinion, it seems like they've made the decision fully that they just don't need trade shows because they have a large enough influence out there, right?
Yeah, I mean, the European market is very different than the U.S. market and even other parts of the country. In other parts of the world, rather. Sorry. So yeah, I mean, and we've had this conversation with like Jose Blanco, who handles a lot of the, I think it's the Eastern European division or the European. I don't remember specifically, but I know he handles sales outside of the U.S. for Toro Fuente. So he's talked a little bit about that too. How it is very, and you mentioned it is very different. I mean, you have the United States, which is one country, big territory. You have Europe, which is a big territory, but it's all different countries. And as you said, all those countries have their own systems in play, different laws, different taxes. So yeah, it's a very different ball game when you get international with the cigar industry. Nicole, is it now time for our giveaway?
Yeah. Well, I know the winner.
Well, do you want to share with us?
Yeah.
Or share with them, rather. They want to know.
Okay, so we had teamed up with Steve Saka. He had given us one of those lovely unicorn cigars, and we decided to pair it with some bags of the Sasquatch poop that everyone had been seeing from the PCA trade show. So the winner of that is Patrick Nunn.
Patrick Nunn, congratulations.
Yes.
Congratulations to Patrick Nunn. He will get 2 bags. And to be honest with you, I don't know if does this spoil it for anyone who actually so the Sasquatch poo, it's black cherry cotton candy.
You have an open bag, I think.
I do. I haven't tried it yet because I was going to, and then I got sidetracked, and then I never revisited it. But I do have one for me that I did already open. But you'll get 2 unopened bags. I promise they'll be unopened, and one of the unicorn cigars from Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. So congratulations. We will get that out to you. Also, the winners of the giveaway from last week, the Jewish Day giveaway, they've been contacted. All those giveaways are going to go out probably tomorrow or Saturday. So you guys will all be getting your prizes within the next week, I should say. So congratulations to everyone who participated. And now we are done with giveaways for a little bit. And maybe we will...
Sorry.
Who's unknown user? Ben Rotem should have gone with the white shirt.
You didn't see the...
I didn't read all the... Carney is looking pretty moist.
Carney, I think.
That's me.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
me.
it is
I'm
you.
an unknown user for some reason. Man, my Facebook's all screwed up right now.
Well, we can
Listen,
see that.
he's
can't
blaming
jump
us
on my
for
phone
breaking
and
Google, but he broke Facebook.
I know. You know, that's right. I remember because on the last Spare Notes series, you chimed in towards the second half of the show, and it just kept coming up as unknown user, and I was like, oh, yeah.
I've never seen that before.
Well, it was weird because he started commenting as Smokin Tabacco because he has access to that page. And so then I'm like, why is... And then I'm like, oh, it's Carney because the dialogue, I was like, that makes sense. And then I think he tried to switch it, and then after that, it became unknown user, and now apparently it's stuck that way. And it's broken.
All right.
Very. Should have gone with the white shirt.
Moist.
Yeah, gray is not a good color to wear
mistake.
when you're wet. I mean, black's okay, white's pretty good, but gray,
Well,
I mean,
Well,
I
white gives
wore
the
it.
show.
I wore it because of our friends at Grand Cigar Lounge in Ponca City, Oklahoma, who watched the show. So
it's very true.
I thought maybe they'd notice it. Yeah, I thought maybe they'd notice it, but now I wish that I hadn't because it's like I got under boob sweat, everything. I got everything going.
You're almost doing them a disservice by wearing that shirt.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I mean, he's sweating on it.
He's
There
testing
might
the
be
durability.
people that are into that.
I'm just saying, men look at, wet T-shirt contests. Women like them too. Although Carney sweat, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Questionable.
Yeah, my wife's probably happy about it. Maybe.
the thing with Carney is it's not just the Florida humidity sweat; it's the meat sweats from whatever he ate for dinner too.
That's true.
So it's
The king of meat.
it's
Did
like
I
3
didn't
pounds of
eat.
steak sweat.
I haven't had steak. This week. I'm doing a big dinner tomorrow night with 6 people. We're doing like a 6-course dinner, and there'll be some steaks involved. But I took it easy this week because we had a big weekend last weekend for my wife's birthday. So I'm kind of been detoxing all week. But today she brought home. This is a company called Gideon's Cookies. If you ever come to Orlando, you've got to go to Gideon's Cookies. It's the best cookie on the planet. They've got a place at Disney Springs, but their original location was downtown here, and it's about a mile from my house. So my wife went over there today to get one of her friends' cookie for her first day back at work after she had her baby. And, of course, she brought home a cake called Valentina's Cake, which is a red velvet with cookies and cream frosting. And the cookies weigh like a pound. So for lunch today, we had an entire piece of this cake and one of those cookies. So this is sugar sweats, man. I think I have diabetes.
Very well could. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. And all the wine you drink too. There's a lot of sugar in wine.
Dude, I haven't drank in a week either. I'm telling you, this is from the cookies.
Wow.
That's how good these cookies are.
Cookie sweat.
Hashtag cookie sweats. So we're gonna do our top 3 segment too, because that's a kind of a fun one. Kind of give us a little bit something different to do, and it's going to be non-cigar related tonight. But our top 3 is brought to you by Room 101 Cigars.
Hold on, I'm behind.
Watch the Smokin Tabacco show. Eat your vegetables. Take your vitamins. Smoke Room 101.
That's right.
Words of wisdom.
Chris, were you at the trade show?
Yeah.
Did you
I
go?
was there.
Did you get on the stripper pole?
I can't answer that.
Ooh, that's a yeah. That's a yeah, and I don't want to admit it. If anyone saw, I did post a video of one particular. I won't name his name, but you may know him from Wildfire Cigars.
Jeremy?
Now,
I'll name his name.
I mean, everybody knows. If anyone saw him and that knows him, they know who his name is.
I tried.
They know who he is
I
now.
tried. But Jeremy from Wildfire Cigars had this very. What's the right word that I want to use for this?
Provocative.
Very
Provocative.
very provocative
Degrading.
pole dance with a crotch grab
It
and a
was-
pole grind, the whole thing. Matt yelling at me in the background not to show the food table. You had Abe Froman from Embargo Cigars. He's peeking through the curtain being like, oh yeah. It was very raunchy, but nevertheless, I did share it because it was the right thing to do. So you may have seen that. It was cool. It's always fun to catch up with Matt at the trade shows. But it's our top 3. So I'm going to kind of steal this from How About That Cigar? Only because
Well, you're giving them credit.
I am giving them credit because I love them. But I'm going to steal it from them because it was fun. And so I got shit because I was on How About That Cigar 2 weeks ago. And I was on there with the guys from Cigar Hustler, and they did the 3 people that you would pick to be with you and help you in the event of a zombie apocalypse. Now, Mike gave me shit because I was put on the spot. It was late. It was midnight my time, and I'm just like, man, my brain's starting to fade.
Yeah, who'd you say? Because I was.
And
in
I
COVID
was like.
coma.
I just started thinking of random people, and I was like, well, Mike, I would take you because you're super jacked, and he was surprised. And I was like, I would take Nick Perdomo because he's super jacked, and he's in shape for an old guy. And then for some reason I said, I just can't stop thinking about Steve Saka. And then Mike was like, yeah, because you need someone to fall behind to slow the zombies down. And I was
Wait.
like, whoa.
Hold on, though.
You
You
wanna
didn't
take
pick
your
your
wife,
wife?
then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, no. Yeah,
so he
now
didn't
you're.
pick you or me.
I was
I know,
I was
Wow.
getting to something else, and now you kind of ruined the whole
Okay,
flow.
come on.
But then Mike gave me shit. He's like, "You didn't even pick Carney," and I go, "To be honest with you, yeah, I don't know why." And then I said, and I told Carney about it because I'm gonna be honest. And I was on the phone with him, and he goes, "Don't feel bad because I didn't pick you." And I was like, "Well, now I feel better." And he was like, "Yeah, it's all about survival." Then, well, wait a minute, what is that fucking supposed to mean? So, I'll let Chris go first. Chris, 3 people from the cigar industry, you had to pick to be with you during a zombie apocalypse.
From the cigar industry, I have to stay in the cigar industry.
Yeah, I got to make it a little tough. I can't just give you like free reign.
Yo, I can't do that.
Oh man.
No one. I would take Ben. He's my work wife. Okay, and we live together, we die together, type of thing. I also believe I can outrun him if I have to. Probably Matt Booth because he's a psychopath.
And he
And
knows
that
his way
probably
around
would be
guns.
good.
And he's a Marine.
And he's a Marine.
And
He's a Marine.
He's an ex-Marine, and he likes guns and things like that. And then you know what, man? I think probably Bob from Judgy Bobby Cigars. He's a good time, man. No matter what's going on, he's happy, he's excited, he's having fun, and I think you need that sort of thing in an apocalypse, right? You need someone to make you smile.
You need someone to release the tension.
That's right.
I mean, Matt Booth could release the tension too in different ways, but
But that's a different thing.
very different. Very different. John, I will let you reiterate what your choices were.
I said my choices were. I said Christian Aroa because he can fly airplanes,
Ooh,
so we could travel.
Smart. Very smart.
And he runs he kind of like they run Honduras, dude. He's got to have some serious clout, Then I picked Lito because he's a scrapper. Lito's a big scrapper.
Yeah.
And we'd find a way to get stuff done. And then the next one I picked was way out of left field. I picked John D. Oliver from Romacraft because he has a freaking arsenal of weapons.
Wow.
So I straight up picked survival, travel, and then scrappers. So like Lito invents things. Christian can fly aircraft, and he's got to have some pull down in Honduras. We could probably just chill in Honduras, and then we bring Oliver down there to just start a military, and then that'd be perfect.
And then what's your contribution to the group? Well, I'm just saying,
like
you
CEO
Here's the
type thing,
thing.
like,
Wait, hold on.
Ombudsman.
I feel like
Ombudsman.
if they had to scavenge for food, right, and they got like something disgusting,
John would find a
can
way to
make
make
it
it
taste
edible.
good. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
he'd like turn a rabbit
I mean,
into
more
like,
of like an
a
ombudsman.
feast.
I was thinking of just sheerly on survival and luxury of being able to get where I want and survive there. I wasn't thinking of anything past that, so I was sheerly survival. I don't really know how I fit into the group. I just know that I'd be alive.
Well, I mean, the same could be applied though. How do you apply yourself to the survival? I mean, that's what I'm
Whole
just.
nother level.
I'm just trying to.
I don't know if I would necessarily. I don't necessarily think I'd pick myself. I'd pick 3 other people. I don't know if I'd pick myself.
You don't think you could contribute anything?
Wow, he can't even like bullshit and be like, well, I mean, I used to fight in high school. Like, I don't know.
I'm just trying to stay alive, man. I just want to be on an airplane and get off the ground and land somewhere.
He's like, I
And
could provide
once
plenty of
we're there,
sweat
we can
for
start
us, so we can be slippery, so we can get
Yeah.
away.
You know what's really? I still can't get over you didn't pick me.
You know what, Nicole?
I'm really upset.
I can't believe none of us picked a woman.
No,
Because we need to, like, if we're gonna survive, we need to procreate.
no,
right?
but
So, like, I was just thinking about that. I'm like, how am I gonna reproduce and maintain my my family? I won't. I was just over from there.
but hold
Despite
on.
what people do, what people say, you need a woman to do that.
Well,
That's
there
how
is
science
that.
works.
But Matthew also knows like my history. Like I literally have a bug out bag sitting in my closet right now. Like just so you know, like a legit one.
You guys are married, so
I
under the
know.
law, you are one person, right? You're together.
I
so
know.
That counts, right?
Technically, those 3
you're
people
All
would be
right,
joining
so-
us, not just me.
I'd
So
leave
let's flip this around. Then, Nicole. Who are your 3?
for the cigar industry though. So here's the thing.
Yeah, this is the question.
See. I can't pick
Would you
Matthew
pick
though
Matthew?
now. Well, I can't
Chris
because
made
I'm
a
out
good-
of spite.
Would you-
Well,
Like-
Chris made a good
would
point
you,
though.
though?
But Chris made a good point. We are technically one now, so that really is irrelevant because you would be with me anyway. Those 3 people would join both of us.
Mhm.
So that is a fair way to look at it.
I just don't think she would have picked you either way.
John just wants to rub salt in the wounds. Because that's why he's here on the show. He's here to instigate. Somebody has to do it. Nicole
If I was
doesn't
here
want.
to instigate, I would have brought up several other topics than the things we discussed tonight.
Oh yeah, I know. You're just trying to keep it tame tonight. That's all. I mean, there's a lot of times that John texts me late at night about his thoughts and feelings. Usually after a couple glasses of wine.
I would pick.
So I won't
So
repeat.
Nicole,
What?
Nicole, what are the 3? Who are the 3?
Well, see, now that you said that you can't cook, because I would have chosen you to make like crickets and stuff taste good, right?
Oh, I can
'Cause you gotta eat.
certainly cook. I was just worried about survival. I mean,
Okay.
if I had to have a job, I would do the
That would be your
He
contribution.
still doesn't even know what his job would be.
I would then choose probably, and I'm going to throw some weird ones out, but like Zaya from El Septimo, because he has a ton of money, right?
What if the money doesn't do anything for you at that point?
Well, he has gold things, and gold still
We'll
trade.
melt the gold.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can trade. You can
Melt the gold.
trade stuff. So luxury stuff, like you can trade and whatever. So he has access to things, I'm sure. So and probably his own private jet. He'd be fine, right? And then my other thought would be Omar from Fratello because he worked for NASA. So like, someone
but he's
smart,
probably
resourceful,
Probably pretty good in a fight.
probably good in a fight.
I mean, he's a big
Like,
dude.
would-
Big dude.
He's a big
yeah.
dude.
So that's my 3 right
Well,
there.
And if you guys were short on food, he's a big dude too. And if I'm there, I'm a big dude. We got a lot of meat on the bones.
I love this comment because
Mark-
I know what this is from.
Mark is in the zombie apocalypse. You can't pick someone that gets whiny when they're hungry. Well, that's just fucking rude. But it's okay. I still love Mark very much.
See, I'm gonna pick something apart though. So you picked the guy from El Septimo. So he has a bunch of money. He probably has a private jet. The problem is, can he fly it? So Christians can fly the jet, and he's got money.
And he
So,
has his own
I'm not
jet.
saying he's got all septimo money, but he can fly it. So that's the only issue is can Zaya fly the plane? So if he can't fly it, it doesn't matter if he's got.
That's
good-
true, but
it's a
I
good
feel like
point.
he'd still have like people to take
There's
care
other
of him in his
assets maybe that he
zombie
could help you with.
apocalypse.
Yeah.
Well, I just say like Christian's like a Swiss Army knife, man. That's why I pick him. You know, it's like, man, can fly the plane, has the plane. What else can he do? He's like he's literally like the Latin like James Bond of like the zombie apocalypse for me. That's why he's number one.
The Latin James Bond.
What? I don't think a plane's gonna help, right? Because you're gonna have to be able to fuel it and all that stuff. It might be good for one flight, and then you're done.
Yeah, that's true too. Unless it's a one-way trip, you just have to get to one place and then you're done. I mean, that's true too.
Well, you know, what I'd do is I'd fly to wherever Zaya parks his private jet, and he wouldn't be able to use any of it. So we'd get there and we'd have all the resources that we'd need.
That's a
Jet
good point.
hopping?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I guess you could do that. Well, I just want to bring out that you and we're never going to forget this. Christian Aroa, in terms of, as said by John Carney, is the Latin James Bond. I think it's only right to mention that Tony Gomez is the Spanish Keanu Reeves.
John Wick.
He's the Spanish John Wick. How you say? Did you guys see him at the trade show? I swear to God, he there was one night he had on like the black suit, and he's taller than everybody else there, and he had the hair like nice and straight like Keanu had, and I was like, oh my God. And I said it to John. I was like, he almost looks like Keanu Reeves. He's like, yeah, John Wick. And I was like, yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Steve Saka has.
It's also his birthday. It's also his birthday today. Happy birthday, Tony Gomez.
Happy birthday, Tony Gomez. How old is he?
Oh, dude, no idea.
Oh, come
He and I
on.
both
You got to
stopped-
know.
He and I, dude, I stopped counting his birthday at like 30.
Is he older
We
or
did a
younger
big
than you?
blowout He's younger than me, a couple
He's
years.
younger than. Okay. All right. So Jeff says Rene Lorenzo from HVC. He's always positive and upbeat, and he was a cowboy. Steve Saka has great cigars and a no BS attitude, and Matt Booth because he's nuts and comical. I mean, that's a fair assessment.
Yeah, people in the audience chime in, please. I'd love to hear some.
Yeah,
more
I'd love to hear what
suggestions
everyone
on
else
this
has
one.
to say.
Booth's a good catch too. You know, like I might select him, but I know he used to work with Christian in the past, and I think they still have a good relationship. But I don't know where that relationship was, and if it's not good, I don't want that negative. You know, that negative.
You don't want the negative
you know,
vibe.
juju on the. Well, certainly not on a private plane either. You know, being
Yeah.
locked in a private plane, that'd be vicious.
Or a fight
So-
breaks out.
Chris, I got a question. I'm on the site here, and I saw something I thought was really cool. And I don't know if you guys have talked about it on the show before, or Ben has. This Hangry cigar sounds so cool to me. So this is made in New York City.
Yeah, it's made in New York
Tell
City.
us a
There's
little more about that.
factory. Yeah, there's a little factory on Manhattan, actually, 250 square feet. Martinez Hand-Rolled Cigars is what it's called, and they produce about 250,000 cigars a year out of their 250 square foot.
It's a great place.
They buy all. Yeah, it's amazing. They buy all their tobacco in the DR. Jesus Martinez, who owns it, his father started it. He's the blender there. Amazing people, and it's another one we just kind of met and we're like, yo, let's do something fun, and to have something built right here in country that we can offer our consumers it's a fun project. We make probably 12,000 of them a year or so, and they sell out every single time we have them in stock. They sell out. It's a fun little stick. We went real cheap on the packaging because it's not cheap to make cigars in the US, as you can imagine, but it's fun. The United States used to make a ton of cigars. So it's a little tribute to what this country once was in cigar manufacturing. And again, it's working with awesome people.
So am I right that this started in 2020?
Hangry?
Yeah,
that sounds
I
right.
saw some dates in there. It said 2020. So that was going. So this project kind of launched during the pandemic, right in the heart of it. So how did that how did you guys even run into each other to get something like that going? Because I haven't heard of any projects like that. You guys are a significant impact in the cigar industry on a retail side for sure, and the club's massive. So yeah, I haven't heard of anybody working with anyone like that. So how did that come about?
One of our members, he's actually been a member with us since our second luxury cigar club shipment. So since March of 2019, he's been a member with us, and he works there. His name's Kevin. A lot of people know him as Falbucino. He does writing for Fine Tobacco New York City. He does blind reviews for them, and then he also has been working with the Martinez factory for a while, trying to help build the brand a little bit. And he connected us. There's a lot that happened there. I don't remember a lot of it, but it just kind of happened. It started before the pandemic, and the whole project, the whole idea started there. But we were able to get it done during the pandemic and out. And we blended it by mail, right? They would put something together, send it out, and I'd be like, "Yo, this is ass," and send it back, and they'd fix something, and I'd be like, "Dude, perfect." And so Ben and I worked through those revisions a few times, and we got it done. It was fun.
Yeah, I'm looking at it myself on the website too. I first became aware of Martinez during the pandemic as well. I met up with Dave online a few times. I got to know Dave really well, and I've had some of their cigars, and I know they've done some projects with some other people too. Yeah, it's I haven't been there yet, but I am familiar with the stuff they make. I've had some of it. It is really good. It is definitely on my list. One of these weekends, we want to, because we're in Boston, so we're not too far from New York. We've talked about doing a weekend trip down to New York and seeing some of the places down there. And Martinez is very close to the top of my list. It is a place I'd like to go and see and hang out. We met up with them a little bit at the PCA show. I know they have some new stuff that they were showing. But yeah, it's a small place, but they do some really good stuff there. So I'm really it's nice to see you guys doing a project with them as well, because I do like them. I think they're destined for good things. I really do. I think they're a cool group of people. They got some great cigars.
There's a lot of exciting stuff getting ready to come out of that factory. Some limited editions for some other more established brands and things like that. I don't think I'm allowed to talk about them right now, but
which is fair.
Really, really, really fun, really exciting people. They're great people too. They have a blast with them all the time.
I feel like the theme for you and Ben, Chris, are like you talked about things you're not supposed to talk about, so you just have like a collection of like cease and desist of things you're not supposed to say.
Actually, that's our first cease and desist. Believe it or not, I'll have it framed on the wall soon.
It's kind of like a badge of honor, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? For a huge company, like it was a huge company that sent us a cease and desist, and for them to recognize us as a threat in a sense, kind of made me feel warm and fuzzy a little bit, like because in reality, in the scheme of things, we're not a large company or a threat to them at all. And it's kind of speaks to me. It's something that's important to Ben and I. Like, let's not ever be those guys. Like, if there's a conflict, whether it's over naming or branding or marketing or whatever, let's figure out a way to solve it in a way that benefits the industry, the consumer, instead of all this infighting between all these huge brands and small brands alike that are suing each other and doing all this stuff. Like, we're already fighting the FDA and the US government and general public opinion. Let's not fight ourselves if we can help it. Let's figure out a creative way to solve it. Martinez Cigars actually released a cigar called Patrimonio, and basically at the same time Casa Cuevas released a cigar called Patrimonio also, and they're like, oh shit, what do we do? And they were able to work it out. They're like, look, let's do it together. We're both trying to honor our family, we're both trying to honor our fathers. Let's find a way to bring this to market in a way that is respectful of each other and honors everybody involved. And we actually put both of the cigars in one of our club subscription boxes at the same time. We let them both tell their own stories about why they built it. And it was like a really exciting way to solve a problem that is not a problem. It's a non-issue, right? Like, no one's confused between the Casa Cuevas Patrimonio and the Martinez Patrimonio. There's no confusion. You know what I mean? So it was really cool to see that.
Yeah, it is nice to see when people can actually just play nice and get along, right? I was gonna say right after John's comment, it's almost like that's when you know you've made it, when you get the cease and desist. It's like one of those stripes you have to earn.
I mean, we could probably generate cease and desists all day long if we wanted to. We try to avoid that, but
Yeah.
it's like, well, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, you get it. You're like, oh, okay. Well, we did something. We made some kind of splash here. We're getting this now. One of the other things I wanted to bring up before we wrap up the show, another thing you guys recently released that is I'm starting to go out there now, the Cherubs that you did with Matt Booth with Rim 101. Tell us a little bit about that project. That's kind of cool.
You know what? You guys know Matt to some level. A lot of our projects are highly collaborative. Actually, all of our projects are highly collaborative, except for Matt Booth projects. Matt Booth is more like sends me a text message while he's using the bathroom, at 8 o'clock in the morning. He's like, I made this, you buy. And, it's like a picture of me without a shirt on wearing Nike Cortezes, which I don't wear, right? With angel wings. And he's like, you're a cherub now. And I'm like, okay. He's like, it's already ready. I'm like, what? He's like, no, I knew you would take it. So the Cherubs are an awesome project. There's two of them. There's the Scarlet Hog and there's the Chicken. Matt calls me Scarlet Hog for some reason. I can't talk about where that name came from for legal reasons. But Chicken is actually works at Embargo Cigars down in Phoenix, and they're basically the same blend, but they're designed as a head-to-head project. They're different filler blends, right? So the percentages of tobacco from stick to stick are different, and they're made at Joya de Nicaragua. Amazing cigars. I actually smoke them more frequently than I should. Just a fun little limited edition project. The last one that Matt Booth was able to do before he got his golden parachute.
His golden parachute. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm looking at it right now. I was trying to get I got the picture from the website. Hold on, there it is. Of the bundles with both of you guys on there. So I was trying to get it so I go on the screen. Remind me real quick. It's this one. Yep.
Yeah.
I got it. I just gotta get to it because I want to show it because it is cool. It is really awesome. And it went to the downloads. Hold on. I'm still learning how to produce. This is still new territory for me. Downloads. Come on. Where is it? Can't find it.
Well.
All right. I'll let her do it.
I'll
let her do it. It's in there somewhere. Just send it to your downloads.
I know you did. All right. Well, anyway. Hold on.
See, this is what I get for trying to be spontaneous on the show. I don't know why. It's not there now. Which is too bad because it's awesome. Anyway, sorry. I thought it was going to be easier than that. Apparently not.
Nope.
Carney would have got it done. He knows Ecamm pretty well.
Yeah, but you're just downloading stuff on the fly.
Whatever. I don't know. Anyway, if you head over to luxurycigar.com, you can see it. It's on there. It's right on the homepage in one of the scrolling banners. So check that out for sure. Chris, we are getting towards the end of our show here. So I just wanted to once again thank you for being here with us tonight. Again, I know Ben was going to be here, but then we got Chris. This actually turned out a little bit better. Different dynamic, a lot more fun. I'm just kidding, Ben. I love you to death. Gotta make it fun. You gotta make it fun, right? You always gotta poke jabs at the guy who's not here to defend himself. No, but I love Ben very much. Chris, thank you for being here with us, telling us all about kind of what you guys have been working on and some of your projects. Cool stuff once again. Last time Ben was on, we talked about some really cool stuff. Always excited to see what you guys have going on in the future. So thank you for being here. I know you guys are super busy. John, thank you for being here as well and sweating all over our screen. I really appreciate it. But Chris, you are the guest here. So before we wrap up, if there's anything else that you want to let us know about, anything you want to say that we didn't cover and talk about on the show, let us know.
No, just come check us out, luxurycigarclub.com and Luxury Cigar Club on Instagram. Please reach out if you guys have any questions or concerns, or if you think there's a project that we should do, let us know. We're always looking for something new and exciting.
Absolutely. Guys, don't sleep on them. Check them out. Luxury Cigar Club. Fantastic stuff they have going on. And in addition to their regular subscription service, which has some really awesome stuff that comes in it. John, really quick, I'm going to let you do this because you'll hit this a lot smoother than I will because you have more of the information than I do. Why don't we tell people about what we have coming up?
So on August 11th is the first NFT of 7 from the Golden Bull NFT will go up for auction. And at Smokin Tabacco, we're going to do a live stream in the evening, probably for about an hour, hour and a half at the most. I'll be live down in Miami. Lito Jr. will most likely be with me down there. We're doing an NFT party that we're kind of working on for the first launch. But we're going to be doing live. We're going to be doing a little live broadcast and a play-by-play of where the auctions are at. We'll be watching that live on the show as we talk about it and as we smoke it. So we'll be smoking. We have a couple guests coming on with us as well. Some surprise guests. The boys from Developing Palates are actually going to come on and smoke with us too for a little bit of time. So it'll be exciting to have them on there. It'll be fun to kind of have McTavish on there as well. He's from Canada, so we could talk about like the impact of somebody owning one of these on a personal level in Canada, in different countries, because there's high taxes and different things like that. But yeah, we'll be doing a live broadcast. So we're doing play-by-play of as the auction starts. It'll start at 12 p.m., so it starts at noontime Eastern on August 11th. But we'll be going live in the evening shortly after the regular Smokin Tabacco show. And we'll have some details posted up about that next week. So that's going to be kind of fun. We've never, I don't think nothing's ever happened like that. And doing a play-by-play, it's going to be like we're going to be like ESPN the Ocho on the 11th. And then
F&A, Cotton, F&A.
Yeah, 14 days later, we will be doing I got to find out when the auction ends, but we're going to be doing a live show in the last hour of the NFT auction. So there should be some excitement there and some back and forth bidding as the 7th NFT comes to an end and the whole concept goes into the ownership of whoever owns the NFTs. So we'll be doing that. So yeah, the next August 11th, you can catch us with that. Details will be coming out next week as we have the final details on that.
We're very excited for that. It's going to be a fun night. Gentlemen, to both of you again, thank you for being here. Thank you to everyone who's been watching with us. And as always, thank you for listening to us. If you listen to us on the podcast platforms, you can find us everywhere podcasts are available, as well as our YouTube channel at youtube.com/smokintabacco. So don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, visit smokintabacco.com for more news and updates from the cigar industry, as well as our PCA 2022 coverage brought to you by Drew Estate, the rebirth of cigars. And with that, we'll see you Saturday night with William Cooper for Spare Notes. Take care.